This week on the Great Debaters Contest Golden Series, we feature agriculture.
You may look it up in the dictionary, but the only way to know what debate means is to watch the Great Debaters Contest, Machakos Region, Austin Nyumbok.
And Mariam Bashar. As Judgement will tell you, matters of the stomach are very sensitive. Today we are debating on whether agriculture is on the decline as the backbone of Kenya's economy. We have Mitaboni ABC going versus Mwala School. We'll let the debaters take the stage now. Proposal number 1, you have 3 minutes.
Having agriculture as the backbone of our economy has greatly contributed to having Kenya a third world country. I'm Anthony Muya from Mwala School to propose the motion that states agriculture is on the decline as the backbone of our economy. Like 2 decades ago, agriculture was the backbone of our economy, but now it has declined due to the following attributes. My first point, from the Economic Survey 2015, it states that in 2010, the production was 28.0%. In 2011, the production was 9.0%. In 2012, the production was 14.8%. In 2013, the production was 20.8%. But in 2014, the production declined back to 14.5%. And we both know that statistics don't lie, do they? My second point is the importation of agricultural products from other countries, which demotivates the farmer. Let's say, for an example, if the government imports sugar at low prices, it will demotivate the farmer and they'll tend to try other opportunities and this will lead the agriculture to decline. My third point is it's about the years ago, the 1970s and the 1990s. Government gave credit to the farmers, but it realized that agriculture contributes too little. Agriculture contributes too little of the economy compared to other sources of the economy, such as industry and other sectors. Agriculture is on the decline due to the climatic change, like say, for example, the global warming. The global warming has led to unfavorable conditions of the agriculture, which is not favorable to grow crops. Let's say an example of tea cannot be grown in a warm environment. And my fourth point, in the 80s, the decline was due to the mismanagement of the government. For example, when a farmer sells out his products, let's say at 50 shillings, then the products are sold again at 500 shillings. That will be a great loss to the farmer, making the farmer have a great loss, and it will also demoralize the farmer. My last point, poor marketing strategies which are done by the cooperatives. You find who would like to grow his crops or his agricultural products, would like to grow it and then sell it at a high price. And then when they sell it at a price, and when they are sold by the cooperatives, you get a lower income. Thank you. I rest my case.
Opposition, you have 3 minutes to make your opening arguments.
Karen Hapuk from Mitaboni ABC strongly opposes the motion, agriculture is on the decline as the backbone of our economy. Well, I say agriculture is not on the decline as the backbone of our economy. Why this? I didn't wake up to Cerelac today morning. Let me tell you something. At school, I took porridge. And when you say that agriculture is on the decline, there are very many institutions of higher learning fully dedicated to agriculture. For example, Jomo Kenyatta University of Agriculture and Technology. We also have the University of Nairobi, Upper Kabete, which has a full wing which caters for agriculture. Do we also forget that in our school 844 curriculum, we do study agriculture? Well, this may be unlogic to you, but surely, why do we study agriculture, which has a practical part, even in the national exams? I'm taught how to plant, to farm, and to do my business. So, surely, agriculture can't be on the decline since young people are being empowered to take it up and sustain our economy. That's to my first point. And so, on to my second point. Just the other day, my mom narrates to me a story about her going to the bank. And guess what happened? The bank salespeople nearly harassed her, only to take an agri loan. What is an agri loan for? To my research, an agri loan is not only in cash form. They also offer us with machinery, for example, tractors. So as you say that agriculture has led to the decline of the economy, I will say no, because we have the right aspects that we can use to grow agriculture. And our economy is not only stabilized by agriculture. The government also works hand in hand in supporting agriculture as the backbone of our economy. Institutions such as our very own Kenya Agricultural Research Institute at Katumani. Why is it there? To research and to ask why we need agriculture in our economy. And if you say that it's on a decline, it means you won't be standing here on an empty stomach, because there will be lack of food and lack of enough finances to give you the food. So as you say agriculture is on the decline, be sure that you have the right point, my fellow proposer. So, as I rest my case, I will urge you to join me and say that agriculture is not on the decline of the economy.
We'll hear rebuttals now. Proposition, you have 3 minutes.
Let's call a zero, and not an O. So, agriculture is definitely declining. I'm Moses Mwema from Mwala School. And my first counter is that studying agriculture does not contribute to the economy. Or, please, you could have explained to us how it contributes to the economy while the economy is declining. And many people many of the students who graduate from the 844 system, almost 80% of the total number do not practice agriculture. They engage the same in service industry, the industry, and other sectors. And my third is that machines decrease the number of jobs in our country. So I don't see how this increases or is the backbone. If you say that machines help, then what about the industry sector? They almost use all of them use computerized gadgets. And the other point that carry researches of maize only. In Kenya, how many type of crops or cash crop do we have? Do we have only maize? We have tea. Kari is situated in Katumani, some kilometers from here. But what about tea? Can tea grow in this area? So they are not researching. Other institutes like JKUAT, they run their research tea, and the tea and the other fruits, they are declining because there's no enough research institute. And the last is that I find it absurd for my fellow antagonists to oppose this motion. Thank you.
Opposition, you have 3 minutes for your rebuttal as well.
I prefer a glass half full than a glass half empty. I, Esther Mwini, stand here to oppose this motion that says agriculture is on the decline as the backbone of our economy. First things first. I mean, really, we are past that era of blaming climatic change for our agricultural decline. As in, everyone here has seen greenhouses, right? We all know of seeds, like the genetically modified seeds. They are meant to be used in areas which the soil is not good, and they grow quite fast. And either way, we all know about the plan of irrigation in Turkana, and Turkana is also an example of a place which is, we can call it desert or arid, and they practice agriculture here. Okay. Also, we should stop being pessimistic, and in the case we can take Mumia's sugar as a case. We say, as in Mumia's sugar, the corruption was exposed. And we believe that Anti-Corruption Commission is doing their part. So we should stop being pessimistic and start believing that the government is doing something to curb this point and this fact that people are, and curb this motion and notion that people are blaming agriculture for a decline in the economy. And also, the government has appointed people with knowledge of agriculture to go around the rural areas, backing people and giving them skills on how and methods to plant and the types of seeds. As in, the government is at least trying to do something to help the agriculture sector. And we can't blame them, and we can't say that agriculture is declining because we'll be like demoralizing the government. And we can also say that the government has come back. The government has set aside money for agriculture, and which is being used to buy the farm inputs and the tractors, which are quite expensive for normal people to acquire. And this is a privilege to the local farmers. Also, the lack of agricultural knowledge and tilling of the land is also a fact that we find that the people lack skills. And this doesn't mean that they don't know how to farm and they don't know anything about farming and skills, because the government is providing people who have the skills, and they go and teach them on how to use their lands well and how to cultivate and utilize their lands well. Okay, on to my last point. We all know that agriculture is on the decline. Okay, yes, we can agree it's on the decline, but still, if we say it's on the decline, will you want to mean that you'll be walking naked because clothes are made of cotton, right? And if you say that the agriculture is on the decline, it will mean also that the cotton production is on the decline. And it will also mean that there won't be cotton clothes available in the market. And this will also mean that people will be walking naked, because like in July, when it is cold, we actually need cotton clothes to keep us warm. Thank you.
The audience has asked the proposition to give facts and figures to support their arguments that agriculture is on the decline as the backbone of Kenya's economy. And the opposition have been tasked to name the irrigation scheme or the agricultural scheme in Turkana that they alluded to in their arguments. We'll have the third proposer take the stage. You have 3 minutes.
I'm Victor Chalo from Mwala School. I stand here to answer the question that you've asked about the decline of agriculture. We cannot say that the government is improving the agricultural sector. My friend here has told us that his grandmother went to the banks just another day, and he was denied loans. In the previous years, like my fellow colleague said, the banks were giving loans to farmers, but nowadays it is not given, and her grandmother is the witness. Secondly, we have this other sectors that are improving. Like for example, I have a graph by the economicwatch.com research of 2015, which shows that the agricultural sector is declining. This is the agricultural bar graph. We have the industries and the services sector. We all see that the services sector has 60%. While the industry has 14% and agriculture 20%, a difference of 40%, 60 and 20. This shows that the agriculture is not developing in our country. Thank you.
Position, you have 3 minutes to respond to the audience.
I'm Patricia McKenna from Mitaboni ABC. I want to oppose the motion that agriculture is not on the decline as the backbone of our economy. I'd like to answer the question that was asked. It is a recent scheme at the edges of Lake Turkana. Go Google and you will get it. We should not blame agriculture for the decline of our economy. Instead, we should blame ourselves. There is the recent thing of urbanization, many people, youths, are migrating from rural to urban areas with the excuse of looking for employment. There is enough employment at rural areas. Why should we leave the elderly to deal with farm work, yet we know it needs a lot of labor? Why shouldn't we remain behind and help them and see what it can do to us instead of going to the urban areas to cause troubles? Let's give a case of Nairobi. There are many slums. Yet at home, there are many places that we have land that has not been worked on. Why don't we utilize that? I'd like to ask you what you took for breakfast this morning. It beats logic that you stand here and say that agriculture is on the decline, yet a while ago you just took tea and a bun. Are they not made from agricultural products? We are the one who should enhance our economy. If we import things from outside, who is going to buy what we have in here? We buy products made from China, others made from India. Why don't we buy products from Kenya? We have Mumias. Why don't we buy Mumias sugar? Instead, we go for the cheap sugar that has been imported from other countries like India. That was recently banned because of imports. People are complaining that we import instead of using our own, what we have. Why not utilize what you have first before you go promoting another person? Optimism is what will take you to another level in life. If I were pessimistic, I would not stand in front of you with the confidence that I have to tell you that agriculture is not on the decline. Instead, I will shy away. Let's be optimistic. Agriculture is not, and I repeat, is not on the decline as the backbone of our economy. I rest my case.
Closing statements now. Proposers, you have a minute.
In the night skies, we have stars and the moon. But I bet between the stars and the moon, the stars are the prettiest. Okay, let me answer my fellow colleague by telling you that the reason why we do not buy agricultural products from our country is because we have cartels who sell these products to other countries at a high income and give the farmers low prices. This discourages our farmers to go and sell their crops to the other countries. I think you're answered. I would like to say that let's stop caressing agriculture and shift to service sector, which, as we have seen, is the way to go. Lastly, we cannot expect different results by doing the same thing the same way. Let us change the way we do, and let's embrace the service sector and crown it as the backbone of Kenya's economy. Thank you.
Opposition, you have a minute as well for your closing statement.
It's true that agriculture is it's not the only contributor to our economy. So it doesn't mean economy should decline because agriculture has declined. Let me tell you something. The moment you don't purchase our goods is the moment agriculture falls. How do you expect me to rise, plant and harvest, or rather, rear cows? Let me tell you something. I won't do that if you're not going to buy my stuff. So we have upcoming companies from wherever we don't even know. We have people importing their own goods. Seriously, let's be like our own late Mzee Jomo Kenyatta, who said, turudi mashambani na tufanye kazi. If you believe in that, why would you stand and say agriculture is on the decline as the economy? Seriously?
I will just, give general views to the two schools. I think when you talk about agriculture being on the decline, we needed to see, certain figures. When you're comparing various sources that have contributed to the economy, and I think this goes to Mitaboni, we want to see numbers and facts and figures, and that data is available. And I kind of get the impression that you did not do a good job in unearthing that data and making sense and meaning out of it for it to speak to the motion. I know for Mwala you tried, and the first speaker alludes to a lot of that. The second speaker talks about the fact that, there's a certain percentage of graduates from agriculture, but they don't contribute to it, and the question about source, I think, has been addressed. A comparative analysis on your case would have been sufficient. Victor comes in, very good use of a visual aid, and I commend you for that. But the question is, you needed to compare. Your graph should have been a comparative graph over a certain period of time. One of the questions I kept asking myself is, what's the duration of time? You needed to have situated your presentation in a given context with regards to time. For Mitaboni, you refer a lot to the fact that there are very many people who are studying agriculture. But the question is, what's the relation to those submissions? What's the relationship between those submissions and the motion? So yes, we have people studying agriculture, we have very many schools that are teaching it, but so what? What's the connection between that study of agriculture and that contributing or not contributing to it as, the backbone of our economy? And that was the missing link. I think there was some passion across the two teams. It's just that maybe the way that it was executed was a little different, and passion also has to be accompanied by facts. And this is one motion where it's not just about what you're convicted about. You need to use data to be able to make your arguments. But having said that, good job by the two schools.
The numbers now. Mitaboni ABC, you have 64%. Please give them a round of applause. Mwala School, you are our winners for the day with 69%.
Congratulations to Mwala School and to Mitaboni ABC. Remember, this is a numbers game, and therefore the buck doesn't stop here. We'd like to thank you, our audience, and our viewers back home. Kindly follow us on Twitter at Great Debaters EA and all our other social media platforms. I am Austin Nyambok.
And I am Mariam Bashar. We'll see you next time.